Welcome to another episode of Five Lemons Laughing. I'm Amanda. I'm here with Penny and Melissa. Morgan and Drusilla are off living their life, so we send them all the love in the world. And we hope they receive it well.
Yes.
Yeah, yes, because today we're talking about receiving. We say we want love, we say we want support, we say we want rest, guidance, connection. But what happens when those things actually arrive? Why do so many of us instinctively push away the very thing that we're craving? Maybe it's because receiving is more vulnerable than giving, because it keeps us, or it helps to keep us in control. And receiving asks us to soften, to trust, to believe that we are worthy without constantly trying to earn it. And maybe some of us become so identified with being the strong one, with being the helper, the one that's capable, receiving can actually feel a little bit unsafe. But what if the exhaustion so many of us feel isn't because life isn't giving to us? What if we're exhausted from working so hard to not let it in?
Isn't that hard to think of? Like, we think we're so exhausted because we work. But I definitely have that. Like, I think I'm exhausted sometimes because I'm bracing. I'm like bracing out all the stuff, all the bad stuff, keeping it out.
Yeah. Bracing is such a good word, right?
Yeah.
Holding. Yeah.
Yeah. Like don't tread on me. Don't, don't hurt me. Don't all that stuff. So receiving isn't about accepting gifts or compliments or help. It's about allowing yourself to be supported in all areas of your life, right? And to trust life, which has been some of my biggest lessons for sure. And for a lot of people, especially women, it can feel really uncomfortable because we're taught, like, I know I was taught to give, caretake, achieve, perform, overfunction. But no one ever said, like, sit there and let me take care of you, and let me coddle you. Especially as I grew up, like, it was not only mentored to me to, like, overgive and over caretake, but it was expected of me. And so it is hard to sit down and just let receive it, to receive other people taking care of me without me feeling guilty or unworthy. And so when love appears, we question it. When help arrives, we decline it. When rest is available, we feel, oh, we're so lazy. When someone offers support, we immediately say, no, I'm fine. And another way to say it, many of us learned that our worth came from doing, not receiving. So we were thinking about this little example of how to start thinking about, and are you bracing against receiving? Are you pushing away people's help? So if someone gives you a compliment, do you fully receive it? Or do you instantly minimize it, joke it away, or redirect attention? Yes, and yes. So that tiny interaction can often reveal our entire relationship with receiving. So what do you think, Penny?
Well, oh my gosh, I love that you talked about that compliment thing. So let's just roll back the years, almost 50 years ago. Isn't this crazy for me? Yeah. 50 years. I can't even believe I'm saying that. I'm not that old. Wow. I was the church secretary, and we had the most amazing pastor. Oh my God, he was the best. Pastor Michael. He has since passed away. I was so sad when he died. Anyway, and he'd probably only be like maybe 80 right now. So, I mean, he's not even, I don't think maybe he wasn't even 15 years older than me. He was young. Anyway, I did the church bulletin. It's so funny to even think about this. I was the church secretary, and I did the church bulletin every week. And Pastor Michael would just go, oh my gosh, Penny, that bulletin is the best bulletin. I just love what you've created. You're so good at it. And I would go, oh, stop. I don't. please don't tell me that. I don't want to hear it. It just was too much because I hadn't really been complimented like that before or acknowledged for my gifts, right? And he said, Penny, he was my first teacher. I really have to say that he was the first teacher that taught me this. He said, Penny, all you have to say is thank you.
Yeah.
And so after that, when anybody gives me a compliment, I just say, thank you. Because it was such a major I didn't know how to receive. I still, there are many areas in my life that I still don't like to receive. But that was for the compliment one, that was the one that really resonated with me, Melissa, when you were sharing that. That was a big breakthrough for me, just to say, okay, somebody just said something really nice to me. I don't have to go, oh, don't do that. I can't take it. I can just simply say, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was what just resonated with me right when you shared. But yeah, receiving is extremely difficult. I always feel a little bit uncomfortable. Like I never would do birthday parties for me because I didn't want the spotlight to be on me. Though I love the spotlight, I'll be honest. But
Right.
I don't know, for some reason, like if it was my birthday or whatever, but I blew that one up last year too. And I said, screw it, man. 65, we're going big.
Love it.
Yeah.
It's so,
Yeah.
I was going
And
to
I
say,
had,
it's so, I love that story because you touched on, I mean, I think one of the things that would be really good for us to talk about is why receiving is uncomfortable for women, or what makes receiving uncomfortable. Because like once you go ding, ding, like somehow that lets off the pressure. And you mentioned that you just weren't used to it, right?
Mhm.
Like that was, you just weren't used to it. So
Mhm.
you didn't know how to do it. Is there anything else that you can think of?
Mm-hmm. Well, I was thinking about this earlier. And so I have a mother who's very independent, a feminist. You would probably say pretty liberated, but she kind of straddled this era of like, the 50s homemaker she was raised in. And she's told me stories about, she's also really, really smart. She has a couple master's degrees, a PhD, and she told me she remembered uh, that her father was like, "You don't need to go to college. You need to stay here and you essentially find a husband." So she kind of did both. She dated my father through starting in high school through college, and they got married after college. And she ended up going to college, but like she could have gone to any school she wanted. But, it was just you went to the little Oregon school that was in Oregon because you were in Oregon kind of thing. So I was thinking, um, she came from this traditional thing, but had such a desire to be liberated and free and make her own decisions and independent. And I think that for her, it translated into like, you do everything alone, you push through, you do not take help, you cannot show weakness, because if you show weakness, then you should go back to the 50s kind of thing. And so, like in the opening, I was saying it was not only modeled to me, it was expected. Like
Mhm.
it was expected that you push through and take care of everything and take all the responsibility and get overwhelmed and then push through that. And so, I think that like it's part of my bracing. Like there's something unsafe about receiving. I mean,
Mm.
that's the big picture. I'm learning to soften to that and to say thank you. But it was a pretty big theme in our lives. It was
Mine
to
too.
Yeah.
just push through and do it on your own.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think society, like, I'm so glad you brought that up because there was a transition, right? Like, even now, like, homemakers are seen as weak, right? Like, culturally, we went through a woman has to do it all. And that's a very masculine mindset, right? We have to be providers, we have to
Yeah.
be. So, we kind of made feminism, not the feminist movement, but
Yeah.
being a woman, right? Being women, we made it bad or wrong somehow in there. And I think as women, we are receivers,
Yeah.
we are receivers.
Right.
And as we denied that part of us to be providers
Yeah.
instead of the receivers. It flipped a switch somewhere. So it was not good to be the receiver. It wasn't that part of womanhood somehow got lost.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Just like Melissa said, it was a sign of weakness if you had to
It was
ask
a
for
sign.
help, or if
Yeah.
you had to, or if help needed to come. I mean, yeah. Yeah. And sometimes I think people think you have to wait for a catastrophic event to happen in your life to be able to get help.
Yes.
Like I remember, like I grew up on a farm, and if a farmer got injured, I mean, the rest of the farmers came with their equipment to harvest their grain. It was just so beautiful what the community did for each other. But it didn't happen until somebody had a catastrophic event. You had to be like injured or something for people to come help. But no, that's not true. But yeah, but I just remember that you had to be self-sufficient and do it yourself unless there was something catastrophic that happened.
Yeah.
And then mostly it was uncomfortable,
Yeah.
even when that happens. Yeah.
And we recently did an episode on being vulnerable in the world as women, just physically and biologically and emotionally. And there is some of that there too. Like there is some bracing for safety. And I think that especially when you grow up in a family that lots of boundaries were crossed and that kind of thing, there's some natural protection there. You just keep yourself protected and you do not get too vulnerable. So it's a lot.
It's a lot. I can remember being young and not wanting to be ruled by somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So my dad and his my stepmother.
Yes.
His wife, his second wife.
Second wife, right. It was all him, like his dreams, his, she obviously bought into it. So I'm not going to say that she, like that's what she wanted to do because that's what she did. But I remember seeing that and going, no way am I going to let somebody rule me, right? Like, no way. And then that put me in that role of having to do it for myself, by myself, even being married. Like it was a huge struggle in the beginning because the roles were I couldn't express it like this a long time.
Yes.
But because I was needing to be a provider, I was needing to take charge. I think Melissa, you said control in there somewhere. Like for me to feel safe, I had to be in control because I did not want somebody else ruling my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can totally relate to that, Melissa or Amanda, because my dad was like, it's my way or the highway kind of guy too. And I have those exact same drinking glasses, Amanda.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Dude, that's so funny. Sorry.
For those on the podcast, I just took a sip of water if you're not watching on YouTube.
Oh my gosh, we're so much more alike than we are different. Okay. So that was a funny little squirrel moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I too have struggled in my marriage because there's many times when Larry wants to just take care of me. And I'm like, you can't do that because it's bad, or you're trying to control me. You're trying to make me do what you want to do. And that's not what I want to do. And so there's been struggles. Yeah. It's been hard to just receive that somebody authentically wants to just care for me, and I still struggle to this day at times, a lot of times, actually. I'm just going to be really honest because that's what we do here, right? But yeah, so yeah. And it's when I drop into that old false story that if somebody takes care of me or offers to do something for me that I'm perfectly capable of doing myself, I drop into that story. Oh, you're going to control me. And then I'm going to have to work my ass off and do all this work because of whatever. It's just an old, tired story that I want to blow up. I'm going to blow stuff up today. with little bombs. Just pop them in there.
Little truth bombs, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. Truth bombs. Yeah. Yeah. Mm.
Do you guys have that like physical feeling? That like bracing feeling and stuff happens like that? Like when Larry offers to do something nice for you or care for you and all that worry comes back, what does it feel like?
It is so fast and so automatic. It's just like autopilot. It's just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
no, don't do that for me. I can do it
Kung,
myself.
Kung Fu, Larry.
Yeah.
Put your hands up.
And I
Yeah.
honestly, I haven't paid that much attention to some of those feelings in my body. I'm starting to do that more and more, like really feeling like when I get triggered into old tired patterns, I'm really starting to feel like where in my body does that show up? And usually for me, it's my gut is where it first happens. Like I get that feeling in my gut, oh my God, something bad is, or if I do this, something bad's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I have to keep telling myself that I'm safe. I'm not there anymore. I'm not back in my childhood.
Yep.
I'm a grown-ass woman now that has lots of skills and capacities to handle the situation. And I have to remind myself of that often because I can forget. Yeah, but I'm going to pay more attention to that.
Yeah, I get like short breath, like I get tense in my shoulder, like I pull in. That's why I was thinking earlier, like this is full on bracing because I pull in and up and then I like just kind of breathe from my chest up.
Shallow breathing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's like we go into fight, flight, or fright. Fight, flight, or
Freeze.
fear. Freeze. That's it. And then there's fawn now too.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, it doesn't happen so much. I'm just explaining, what traditionally, and I'm starting to really see how things like that had affected my body my whole life, and how my brain and my body are interacting, or my emotions and my brain and my body. Like, do I think about it first and then have an emotional reaction and then my body braces, or do I have the emotional feeling and then I think through it and then my body braces, or does my body brace first and then it all happens? It's just interesting to me. I don't need to really figure that out. It's just there is some relationship to all those things that, like you said, lets that old story and the old reaction come in. And it doesn't happen as often. And it doesn't happen as often so much that when it happens, it's so obvious to me. Like, I'm like, oh my God, why am I breathing? Why am I not able to take a deep breath? So I find it just fascinating that we're all, very capable, smart, spiritual women, and we still get these waves of the old
humans.
Story. Yeah, totally.
It's one of the things I've had to also learn is that I'm a human being having this, or a spiritual being having this human experience, and human beings are not perfect. And yeah, we have that little ego thing that kind of holds us there, wants us to be uncomfortable and to feel the lack of safety. Yeah. I'm kind of getting that too.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I didn't mean to talk over you. It's got to be not to be a conspiracy theorist or anything, but let me just throw this out there. Like, I think part of it is like if we were to receive love, it changes the dynamic of the world. Yes. And we were taught somewhere in there that it's not safe to receive. It's, to be guarded against love unconditionally. To think that receiving means there's strings attached, that someone is going to control me. So I have to
owe something.
That will owe something. Like if I receive this, then I have to, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And that keeps us out of giving and receiving love because it's comfortable, because it feels good, because.
Yeah.
as a society, if we learned and allowed just to receive love, that shifts everything. You talk about shaking the foundations of
Everything,
of everything, of
Mhm.
everything.
every interaction,
Yeah,
politics, wars. Yeah.
everything. It shifts the dynamic. And I know we've talked about it on episodes in the past, but just to if we were to receive love, and that's what shifts the world.
Yeah.
It is a revolutionary act to receive, because that's, receive love, receive help, receive whatever protection, right?
Mhm.
Shakes the foundation of an old system.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So receiving could be a revolution.
It could
I
be.
like that.
It
And
could be.
I'm always going back to the ego, and the ego wants to be separate and have all these problems and create problems. But number one is be separate from everybody else. And when you can't receive, I think you isolate, you
Mm.
become separate. That becomes so important. I just see it in my family and that kind of thing. And then you do become defensive, and it's just like just this, it just rolls downhill and gathers all the stuff that keeps everyone separate and angry at each other. I so agree. What a concept of receiving can change the world.
Yeah.
And it goes back to every podcast we have comes back to doing it in your own life, and you will
Yeah.
affect the rest of the world.
Yeah. Start where you're planted.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
how can you receive more? How can you do you feel like you need to in your life receive more, or relax to receive more?
I think for me, it's about relaxing, just to chill out, just to
Yeah.
go and just whatever comes, let it come and accept it. It's that isn't your favorite word,
Yeah,
acceptance,
it is.
Melissa? Mine too, actually, but I know it's one of your favorites. But yeah, I think that's the key for me is just to chill out and allow.
And there's some trust in there too.
Lots.
There's
Lots
got to be trust, right?
You have to trust that it, and hope and trust that
Mhm.
it will work out.
Yeah.
So here's something to think about. How does like our self-worth affect the ability to receive, like, our own perceived self-worth?
That you're deserving.
Hugely.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Self-worth is like the cornerstone of, I think, a lot of the issues that go on in life. If Because I've had low self-esteem. I mean, when Pastor Michael was giving me
Yeah.
a compliment, my esteem wasn't that high. And or my self-worth, I didn't realize the worth that I brought to the world at that time. And so it was very challenging for me to receive. And so I think self-esteem, self-worth,
Mm-hmm.
thinking you're good enough, whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
plays a big role in being able to receive.
Mm-hmm. I'm not good enough, deserving. So if
Mhm.
I'm not deserving, don't look at me, don't
Mhm.
shine on me. And
Well, because I don't deserve it, so don't do it.
yes, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. The silly things we tell ourselves that we were,
yeah.
I guess, I'm going to say groomed to believe.
Mhm. Yeah. So then, do you think someone that is like really relating to this message, like not being able to take a compliment, um, do you think they could practice their self-worth or practice, their authenticity by receiving? Is that one way someone could practice it? Or do you think someone has to like know their self-worth before they can receive?
I think Pastor Michael taught us something there.
I think it goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
I think as you start to receive and say thank you, if it's a compliment, then your self worth will build because you'll begin to, they say fake it till you make it. Sometimes we have to just say, okay, I'm just going to receive this it's going to be good for me. you know, I can see the bulletin. I did a really good job.
Yeah.
There's no typos.
Mhm.
And because back then I was just on a typewriter and a steno machine.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think it builds as we begin to receive. I think that's where self-worth builds.
Yeah. And I think a part for me has been learning to chill or calm my body so I don't get into that like triangulated, oh, I'm feeling tense, something must be wrong with me. I'm going to put my guard up and be over here protecting myself. So I've had a lot of healing just around relaxing my body, noticing where I'm breathing, and then my ego's not reacting so much. My whole system's not reacting so much. You, Amanda?
I think at one point in my life, I needed out, like those compliments and stuff for a different reason. Right? Like I put so much uh, stock or self worth into physical appearances that receiving compliments fed that part.
Mm,
Um, so it's interesting.
it's
Like
different.
it's
Yeah.
different. So
Yeah.
I think I've been a good receiver. Like even that taught me to say thank you, to just receive it. And as I shifted away from needing that external validation, I received different things. Like, so I received real connections. Like being part of this spiritual community, like I receive something different now. It's so interesting. Like, now that I'm receiving on that level and not just a superficial level, like money is easier, right? Like I see
Mm.
abundance and prosperity everywhere. So it's just a different type of frame that I had to mature into.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and as a massage therapist too, you were constantly giving and giving
Yes.
and giving. And so how was that? How did that come into play with to be on the other end of receiving? I mean,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think about that. Wow.
I got into massage therapy on a very pure, the healing aspect. And then I got into the business part of it. And then it was, I think I made it just, part of my life. This is just real, right? Like
Mhm.
it was very transactional. Like it was still healing. I don't want to take away from the work that I was doing, but like behind it was like, well, I need to get paid a lot for what I do. Like, so something in there, just like the outside validation stuff.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
you deserve to be paid for your worth.
I
Yeah.
did deserve to be paid,
yeah.
right? And it can be looked at from two different things too. Like I believe somewhere in there, I took it, in my 30s. Like I made it very like this is how I'm going to make money. And um, I don't know if I answered your question
Well,
or not.
and on the
I,
flip
I
side
feel
of
like I
that,
went off on a side street.
well,
Right?
but on the flip side of that too, Amanda, a lot of the healing arts coaches, massage therapists, anybody that works in the healing
Mm-hmm.
industry, it's hard for them to charge what they're worth.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard for them to receive what
Yeah.
they are really worth. And so that's what I'm hearing you say is that maybe, well, what did you say? If you think about that question, did
Yeah.
you know where it's hard to charge what you're worth?
Yeah. Um, I don't know. I just don't know. Right. Like I was in it, doing it, living
Mhm.
it. I switched from that part of it, like like I felt like I was a good receiver. But I still was attaching something external to my worth. So if someone
Mhm.
didn't tip me well, I was like,
Mhm.
like I need to try harder in my massage, right? Like
Mhm.
so there was a transactional aspect to it that I had to grow through, right? And that's just
Mhm.
part of it. And then, and now like it's just different. Like, I was trying, I was doing, I was doing something to receive
Yeah.
money for validation. So it was
Mhm.
doing, it was a doing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That was your livelihood.
It was my livelihood.
Yeah.
So you were making meaning of like the tips. And so would you say that you in your brain, like was it um did you not receive it then? Like did you not receive what you did get as good enough?
I sometimes, you know how life goes.
Yeah.
Sometimes not. Sometimes not.
What I'm just thinking is like, is there an attitude that you can have towards something like that that is just like, I receive what I get without an expectation?
Mhm.
I'm just kind of like thinking, because like you said, it's life, these things come up. So
I don't think I was a full receiver, just giving my gift to the world and allowing the prosperity to come to me. It was something that I was doing. I was forcing. Yeah, because I felt like, even when I was in it, like I would hit a plateau, a ceiling of something, and I wouldn't be able to break the next barrier. And now being older, right? Wisdom come with wisdom. Um, I think I was pushing, I was trying, I was doing instead of now just being in the natural flow of giving and receiving very comfortably in that flow. But I was doing. I was doing.
Got it. Yeah.
Mhm.
We are good doers, aren't we?
Doers.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that blocks receiving.
Yeah.
If I'm,
Yeah.
I'm going to give you this service, so you will give me money. That is a transaction. That's not a giving and a receiving.
So did that change, Amanda, when you moved to New Mexico and you were doing your massages outside with, did it
Yeah,
change then?
absolutely. Well, because we reached a point, my husband and I were like, fuck it, we're not going to do this anymore. Right. And I wasn't thinking about the giving and the receiving. We're like, this life feels limiting. It feels restrictive. What we're doing now doesn't feel right. And I probably wouldn't have even said it feels limiting and restricting.
Yeah.
It was just like, life has got to change. There is unhappiness, there's uncomfortableness, there is fakery. I don't know if that's a word, but there just wasn't, we weren't living our fullest. So when we came to New Mexico, we're like, we just let all of that go. And yes, everything shifted. I made, I retired from massage this year, so I don't do that anymore.
Wow.
I did. Yay.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm retired from that. I mean, people gave me so much money, right? Just for doing my massage. They gave me what I asked for, but a lot of people gave me more than that. And I worked at a brewery, and people it was just laughable the amount of money I made. And I was, and it was just, I was serving pizza and beer. Come on, right? Like it was, no pressure, no nothing. And it was just amazing.
Well, your motive was clean.
It was clean. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we were, this isn't about giving, right? This is this topic of conversation about receiving, but they have to, it seems like they go hand in hand. Nothing.
They do. I think they do. Mm-hmm. To give, you must receive, and to receive, you must give. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah.
So what I've learned, it was being, right? Because at the brewery, massage here, I took the pressure off of performance and was just being who I was in every moment and just allowing the receiving, allowing it to come.
So what happens to people who are think, but I have to work. Like, I can't just wait for something to show up. I have to work. I have to pay my bills and I have to feed my family.
Yeah.
It's kind of sticky.
It is kind of sticky. But even showing up at the work, for a lot of years I had to work, right? Like,
Yeah.
I had to. But even showing up with on the job that you have to, you can still be, even if you're whatever it is that you think is very mundane and you don't really enjoy doing it, you can still be in it, right? And
Yes.
we talk about acceptance, we talk about all of that stuff.
Mhm.
In practice, just being in it, receiving from your coworkers, and not, like, because in my previous career, or my previous life, it was a doing. And now that I'm just receiving, it's just it's just a whole different thing.
Mm.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Hmm. It's beautiful, is what it is.
It
Beautiful
is.
way to live.
Can you write a
Yeah.
how-to book on that for dummies?
Everybody just practice receiving. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
You're so smart,
Wow.
Amanda.
Thank you. Yeah.
Ooh, good practicing, ladies.
Yeah. Penny, you're so wise.
Oh gosh, Amanda, I love you. Thank you. I'm going to call you every day.
Yes.
Exactly.
I was just thinking this morning in my meditation how I just look forward to this day every week when I get to sit with you beautiful souls and kind of sort out what's going on in our lives. I had really honestly have so much gratitude and appreciation for what we've put together here in Five Lemons Laughing. I just really wanted to tell you that. Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. Community is important, right? To have
It is.
someone that will just be in community with you and to receive you just as you are.
Yeah. Very important. I'm a total communal person. So I think that's why I love finding groups that really work with me and resonate with me.
So we are the Five Lemons Laughing are helping to start a new project, right? And that will be announced later. But one of the questions that we answered as founders of this was, why do you want to be a part of this new endeavor? And why'd you say yes to being a part of this new endeavor? And I was like, so I can see you guys more. Like how I too, Penny, look forward to this day and look forward to our meetings. And we have a couple other meetings. But I'm like, I'll take it all the time. I'll take it every day because I so feel I'm receiving so much support and love and just sisterhood and everything that it is the best practice for receiving because I want more of it and I'm willing to show up and get more.
It just popped into my head as it's addictive. but
Great.
But it's not the negative addictive part. It's I'm seeking that higher vibration that we bring to each other. And so that becomes, I want to be standing in that more. And so that's why I'm attracted and addicted to it.
Addicted to love.
There you go.
Addicted to love.
Yeah. Got to be dancing like those girls in that song. Yeah. Wow. Well, I don't have many Post-its, dear ladies. I just have two.
I bet you there's some powerful ones in there.
I think they are. Yeah. So shift the dynamic by receiving love. It can be really that simple.
Yeah.
It's not easy, but it can be that simple. And then let's start a revolution, Receiving could be a revolution, and we can change the way the whole world is. And that's a really powerful and amazing thing to start participating in. Let's just start participating in that. Yeah, because maybe receiving is one of the deepest forms of trust there is, like trusting that you don't have to carry everything alone, trusting that love, support, rest, joy, they don't always have to be earned. Oh my gosh, what a concept. And maybe the shift really happens when we stop asking, why isn't life giving to me? And start asking, why is it so hard for me to let it in? Like, I just have to keep remembering, going back to Pastor Michael saying, Penny, all you have to say is thank you. And that is one of the prayers, the simplest prayers that we can say each day is just thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, yeah, this week, just notice where life may already be trying to support you. And instead of pushing it away, maybe just let yourself receive it. What a concept, right? What a concept. Yeah. So to receive is a beautiful, beautiful thing. And we can all step into that right now today. And so thank you for joining us. Really appreciate it. And your transformation is truly our greatest joy. So with that, have a beautiful week. Know that the 5 Lemons Laughing are here to love and support you through it all. So you take care, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Love you.